All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Strength Classroom. Today I'm talking about just a no-nonsense guide to building powerful quadriceps. So, people overcomplicate quad training, especially nowadays. But I've looked at some things, I've scoured the internet, I've tried things on myself over the years. My thighs have always been, let's say, a big part of my physique. Now, I'm not saying, sorry, let me rephrase that. I've always said that if someone responds well to certain exercises, just I want to say unfairly, because there are some people that struggle to grow legs. I've never been one of them. So really, it could be because of my training methods. It could be because I'm just genetically predisposed to have sensitive quads to the training. They respond to pretty much freaking everything. So take this with a grain of salt. But I've also never overcomplicated quad training. Like, you see all these wacky exercises on the internet now. I've never really done any of those. So why would you focus on quads in general? If quads are a weak point, open your ears, listen up. The quadriceps are amongst the body's largest muscle groups. It's positioned in front of your thighs, and they're essential for knee extension, knee stability, and explosive lower body power. So from sprinting and jumping to deadlifting and squatting, strong quads will boost your performance across the board. So some things I learned from just reading Westside Barbell articles and conjugate methods, stuff like that, that have greatly influenced my training. No surprise, unless you're a new viewer to the channel. Here's how I've typically learned to break things down. You can have exercises that are quad focused on dynamic effort work. So that's using a lot of sets, low reps for explosive reps, typically in the 1 to 3 rep range. Then you could have quad focused exercises on your max effort day. It can be trap bar deadlifts, which are going to have more quads. It can be low box squats. It can be pause squats. It can be front squats. These are going to be heavy lifts done with fewer reps to build absolute strength, which is pretty much like a Westside Barbell or Conjugate staple. And then there's your accessory work. And this is where you're going to get most of your quad training in. So exercises that are specifically dedicated to developing the supporting muscles for balance and overall strength. So just to repeat, you can have a quad focus exercise for dynamic effort work, max effort work, and your accessory. Those are basically the 3 cornerstones of a conjugate training program. So let's look at the exercises that would be good for your quadriceps. It's gonna basically be a squat variation. So here are the top picks that I've looked at that should be a cornerstone of your heavy effort or heavy work if you are struggling to build quads or those are a weak point. I would say box squats, but make it to a lower box. Now, when there's more knee flexion, so it doesn't necessarily have to be completely knees over toes in your vertical, but it shouldn't be that you're sitting so far back at the same time. It should be like a happy medium. So box squats, everyone knows that they're fundamental in Westside Barbell, but you're gonna have to perform them a little bit different, like I said. But by breaking up the movement of the eccentric and concentric part of the movement, you're engaging your hips and your quads very intensely at the same time in order to pop you off the box. So this boosts stability and your explosive power, where you're not really focusing on a rebound out of the bottom, you're engaging your muscles all at the same time. Now, exercise number 2, I would say a front squat. And a front squat, as you've seen in previous videos that I've mentioned, it shifts more of the focus directly onto the quads and your abdominals, and that makes them an excellent choice for a quad-focused exercise. And if you want to make the exercise even more challenging, you can pause it at the bottom slightly. And last, I would say, if you have access to one, a safety squat bar squat. So this variation is easier on the shoulders and it's great for developing quad and even your posterior chain strength as well, because it's going to put a greater stress on the upper back just with the way the bar is designed. What I like about the safety bar squat, it's kind of similar to a front squat, especially if you flip it around, but it does not have the same mobility requirements in your wrists, in your shoulders, in your lats. So that can be a good option. And if you want to hit the quads a bit more, just like the front squat I suggested, you can pause them at the bottom. So you're kind of eliminating the rebound and focusing purely on hip drive and leg strength. And the 3 exercises that I just said, you can also use those as your dynamic effort exercises. So all you're doing is you're picking the same exercise, but you are just changing the rep range and the amount of weight you're going to be using. So for example, if you want a front squat, maybe with a pause on your max effort day, then you can front squat, touch and go on your dynamic day. And if you want, you could add bands change, but that's completely optional. But just using lower percentages for higher amounts of sets and lower amounts of reps. So that's how you can differentiate those exercises between the max effort and the dynamic effort. But now let's talk about assistance exercises for the quads and accessories and so on and so forth. So number 1, I would say sled drags or sled pushes, like a prowler. So these are going to build endurance in your quads. Whenever I push my prowler down the street, if I ever want to go to the end of the street, my quads are fucked by the time I come back. Sled work is also very versatile because you're not allowed, but just by the nature of the exercise, you're allowed to push with 100% force, and you don't have to worry about the concentric. So you're constantly going. It's left leg, right leg, right leg, boom, 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 over and over again. So I would say a prowler push does require a lot of quad stability, a lot of quad strength and quad endurance. But then I would say if you have a sled, don't drag it forward, drag it backwards. That is going to hit your quads a lot more than a front or forward sled pull or sled drag, whatever you want to call it. It's not that it's not going to hit them at all if you're dragging it forward, it's just going to hit it more if you're dragging it backwards. Belt squats are a great exercise to hit your quads. What I like about belt squats, and I've talked about it in a previous video, is you can, number 1, load your legs without loading your spine at all. But number 2, you can change your squat form depending on how you want to squat. So if you need more hips, you can squat with your hips backwards. If you need more glutes, you can do that as well. But if you need more quads, you can stand a little bit more upright and you don't have to worry about balancing the bar on your back. So that makes them a perfect exercise for hitting your quads a little bit more. Then there are things like lunges, step-ups, split squats, those typical single-legged exercises that you would see pretty much anyone use when they're doing like isolateral or unilateral exercises for their legs. Now, what I like about these 3 exercises that I just listed, they can be changed in almost identical ways. So you can change the type of bar you're going to use. You can use dumbbells, you can use kettlebells, you can even use bands if you want to just do them for like pump work. So many different things you can do to just change not only the amount of weight that you're using, but just how the exercise feels and what other like support muscle groups are being emphasized. But all in all, lunges, split squats, and step-ups are going to hit your quads in different ways. So to make the most of this video and to make the most of your time, I'd say if you really, really need to hit your quads, what I just listed, pick 1 max effort or heavy effort exercise that I just listed, and 1 exercise for that same strength exercise, but put 1 on the max effort day, 1 on the dynamic effort day, and then pick 1 assistance exercise and put them each on either the max effort and the dynamic effort day. So right there, you're going to have 4 exercises that each will, or all, will hit your quads in a good fashion, and your quad weakness will probably disappear pretty damn quickly. So that wraps up this video. By combining these heavy exercises, the dynamic effort exercises, and specifically targeting the weak muscle groups through assistance exercises, you'll definitely see strength gains in your overall performance when it comes to quad focused exercises. So let me know if you've tried anything in this video. Let me know if it works for you. Let me know if you'd like to do this with maybe another muscle group and show you how to organize it that way. But all in all, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a great day.